Welcome to Cooking with Gaz. I know you can't see my face at the moment, which you'll get to, but I just wanted to thank all of my fans for what I went through last week. Thank you for all the gifts and the good wishes, and if you haven't sent them yet, please continue sending them. I had a half knee replacement. Today's the first day I'm back on my feet. Today's a special Sunday. It's cold, it's rainy, got something nice to cook. Well, I've got a few shout outs to do before we start this beautiful shepherd's pie, which by the way has its origins in the north of England. Old mutton, old lamb, turned into shepherd's pie, middle of last century. Let's leave that there. Let's talk about two people. My beautiful wife Paula, who looked after me for the last 10 days. I have been impossible. And to Dr. Solomon, the finest knee surgeon in the world, you'll be getting some of this. Now how do we do this? It's pretty simple. 2 kilos of field to fork minced lamb. 2 kilos of field to fork minced best chuck beef. Those are our two meat ingredients. We're going to start off with 4 onions, 1 onion for each of the kilos of the beef, 4 garlic cloves for each kilo of the meat as well. Then once we've got that going and we've got it simmering with lots of carrots, about 6 or 7 big carrots, we've got a half a kilo of green peas, we've got sliced mushrooms, fresh oregano from the garden, dried here in the Hort's household, some beautiful chicken stock, the best tomato paste you can buy, cream, not for the shepherd's pie, but for the mashed potatoes. So what I've got in here, in this beautiful white bessemer, which is made by Le Creuset, that's to you, Mr. CEO Le Creuset, please sponsor Cooking with Gaz. I've got 4 big onions, 4 beautiful cloves of garlic, a lovely big chunk of pepper butter, and my favorite olive oil in the world. And I'm just going to sprinkle about, I'd say about 100 mils over it, and that starts it off. And that'll nicely start to pull together all the flavors. Onions and garlic are nicely sauteed. Now we're just going to add those 6 diced carrots. Now I've diced these twice, which is a nice square size. And the reason I've done that is because I want them to be more or less the same size as those peas. But the peas and the mushrooms go right at the end. We don't overcook those. So we've taken the onions and the carrots. They're perfectly glazed. They're nice and soft. They've left flavour in the pan. 2 kilos of the best chuck mince and the 2 kilos of best lamb mince now are going to get browned in this pan, in this pot, and then we'll add those beautiful onions and carrots to it once they're brown. We're well on our way for the second time.
This is potentially the best shot in the history of Cooking with Gaz.
Thank you so much, Joshua. And just by the way, we do have a Butterball Chardonnay.
Ooh.
Just over there, which is
Almost
essential to the
that,
cooking. I've got the meat now in the pan. It's really hot. Obviously a little bit of butter and olive oil to start. And we're just going to sear that meat. We're going to get a bit of brown flavor. It caramelizes with the butter and oil. It just leaves flavor on the outside of the meat. Otherwise, nothing worse than boiled meat. So whenever you're cooking, always brown your meat. It holds the flavor in, traps it.
That's the definition of a rough chop.
It's a rough chop, Joshy, but you know what? Time is of the essence. You don't want to spend too much time. Chop mushrooms, seriously, with that. Chop, chop, chop. They're going to go right at the end with the peas. Just get them ready and stick them by the side of the stove. We've now added the onions and carrots and garlic back to our pot. We've got the meat nicely brown. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take tomato paste, about a half a tube of tomato paste. I think this is about this is 130, so I'd say about a 65, 70. In fact, do the whole tube, it's going to look good. It's a big pot here we've got here. Just for that beautiful tomato flavor. So about 100 grams, 130 grams of tomato paste. We add that. And then what we always do is we get a little bit of red wine just to deglaze the bottom of that pan. And I'm just going to go across there to the bar. Joshua, can you pass me the red wine, please? Thanks. This is far too good to go in here, but we're going to use it. It's my favorite Pinot Noir from Otago. Go you New Zealanders. It's the only thing you really do well. Your rugby sucks. Nanny goats. Look for that central Otago. We're just going to ladle that down the bottom of the pan. Bring those flavors out. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to top the pan up with our beautiful chicken stock or veal stock. You can use either. Don't use beef stock, it's too strong. Once that comes over the top, we're going to add the dried oregano, a nice bunch of that in there. And we're going to take that beautiful bit of rosemary. We're just going to pull those. I don't use the big hard stick of it. I just take the beautiful edges off. And that'll go in there like it. Just about so much of those two. Now I'm going to let that simmer for about 2 hours. That's how long it's going to take. Just before we do, one of the secret ingredients is Holbrook's Worcestershire sauce. Commonly used on pies, but also a nice browning agent in here. And again, about 100 mils I would use. I always go by taste. If I need more later, once it starts to come together, then I do that. That's now set to simmer for about 2 hours. Slowly bring in all those flavors, and you'll see it's going to be delicious. What you do is you peel potatoes, chop them in half, cover them with cold water, a little bit of salt, cook them out for 45 minutes. And then at that 45-minute period when they're still warm, remove the water. There's only 2 tricks with mashed potato. Add cream and butter and salt. Get those consistencies right. Mashed potatoes loved by people all over the world. We'll see how to make it. Well, 2 hours later, it's been simmering. All those flavors are ready to now to be attacked. What we're going to do, we're going to add those mushrooms. Mushrooms and the peas, raw. And they're going to go for another 10 minutes. Because on the stove over here, I've got potatoes going, which will be my mash. I'm then going to get that ready, top it of the mash, 25 minutes in an oven at 200, and lunch is served. We boiled up potatoes for about 45 minutes. They're going to be nice and soft inside. Very easy to do. Throw them in the colander, then reverse put them back into the pot. Very easy, this trick. What I do, I take peppy butter.
The old one too.
The old one too, Joshua. Take peppy butter. Nice big blob of peppy butter on the bottom. Just about so much. Touch of cream over the top.
Oui.
Just a bit of cream. And then a little bit of milk. And then what we do is we mash potatoes into it before we season it. Now watch how carefully we do this. Come and have a look at this closely here, Joshua. Get into this here. Show the viewers what's going on. And we started, I never put too much cream and milk at the beginning. You just saw a bit of a flash because what I'm doing is I'm putting it all together to get my consistency right. As soon as I see it's all mashed, what I'm going to do is move that around like that. Oh, that is going to be delightful. And I'm going to do that. Some salt. Just about so much, but a couple of sweet just to get lots of flavor. Black pepper, and that will be the best mashed potato you've ever eaten. That's going on top of our beautiful shepherd's pie. So excited for this. Have a look at this here. I'm doing this. I'm just spreading this on beautifully. I've got the perfect amount of mash for our cottage pie. Have a look at that.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. 25 minutes. Have a look at this. Look at this, chaps, ladies, boys, girls. Absolutely delicious. Look at that. Absolutely stunning.
Potato that's
And that's how you serve delicious shepherd's pie.